outstanding. The Commission of Restitution of Land Right has indicated that they are able to settle not more than 300 claims per year, meaning that it will take 20 years to settle the older claims that are within the department. There are still over 100,000 new claims that are locked up because of the Lamusa judgment. Consider all this. Has the government considered this land completely failed program? Because if do we have any rethinking approach of any new approach that will make the process to be faster? What is your plan that is entailed to make sure you increase the capacity? Because we cannot wait another 20 years to settle while you have a backlog of 100,000 that are in the department. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Makasini. Honorable Deputy President, your response to that.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable Makasini, the Commission on the Restitution of Land Rights has also introduced what they call Project Kuyasa. And through this project, they want, amongst others, to come up with a strategy that will help us to reduce these backlogs faster. They want to put in business processing systems, come up with financial modeling that is going to be helpful, and so on. So they are coming with plans to ensure how we can deal with this matter faster. The new minister responsible for land reform has also been visiting all provinces, particularly where there are backlogs, and engaging with staff there in order to assist. So we agree that it has taken long, but the minister knows that what is needed now is to fast track. And I can assure this House that the minister is out there almost every week in all provinces. And I'm sure when he comes to the House to answer questions, he'll give you more details about the process and the progress we are making. We are putting more resources, as I've indicated, able to assist. Let me also say in conclusion, Honorable Kasine, that one of the challenges we face is sometimes the conflict that comes up with this project. When we are about to redistribute land, ensure restitution, sometimes we then get into difficulties of conflict amongst communities and members of particular households and so on. So it does sometimes really hold us back. But we agree with you that we do need to move to a situation where we can now move in with new claims. And as soon as we can settle this all other claims, the better. And I can assure you that the minister is doing his best to ensure that we deal with this backlog. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy President. The next follow-up question is from the Honorable Slamini.
Good afternoon, Deputy President. Thank you, Honorable Chair, for giving me this opportunity. Ntate Mashatile, ra tseba hore issue ena land question e boima. Koloi ya teng ha e sa le ema ka 1913. E theola batho ba batsho, e theola batho ba mmala, e theola makhwensane le merabe ye meng e nena le lefatshe. Mme hona jwale le kene le Ntate Ramaphosa le kentse gear 1, koloi ena ya land question ya duma. Re kopa e accelerate e tsamaye, no reverse gear. Re a pele fela ka land question, re ka morao re a tsheetsa. Potso ya ka ntate ke hore whether the government has set a time frame for settling and addressing or finalizing all the claims of the land. The latter part of the question you have already answered. That is the only part that I'll request the Honorable President to respond to. Ke a leboha Ntate Mashatile.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dlamini. Honorable Deputy President, your response to that question.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable Dlamini ke a leboga. Ne se ke bontshitse gore ba Commission on Restitution of Land Rights ba tlile ka project e ba e bitsang Kuyasa ka mantswe a mangwe go ya kganya jwale. Project ena e tlo etsa gore ba lokise gore the old claims tsena backlog ena re e fedise ka bonako ba tla ka strategy seo le gore ba tle le di-system tse tlo re thusang le ga go na le tlhakatlhakanyo. Sometimes there are conflicts of beneficiaries. We can resolve them faster. But one of the things that we have done, as you also alluded, that the president has now it's into first gear. The Expropriation Act itself is going to help us to fast track the issue of land reform. I know when the president signed this act into law, there were those who were saying we want to grab land from white farmers and other people who have had land before. What we are doing with the Expropriation Act is really to ensure redress, to ensure that those who were previously denied and land was taken away from them do have access to land in a legal manner. So there's no way you can have the law allow you to grab land just haphazardly. This law is going to help us to ensure that we fast track land reform, but we do it within the parameters of the Constitution and the rule of law. Ke a leboga, Honorable Dlamini. Ga e duma ya tsamaya. We are going to make sure that you receive land, ba kgone ho lema, ba kgone ho aga mo lefatsheng la bona. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy President. We move on to the next follow-up question that comes from the Honorable Scott.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Deputy President, before my question, I just want to, you've listened to all the questions and the challenges with outstanding land reform and claims. I'm just worried. Last week in the papers, in front page, says that more than 800 farms, 800 hectares, more than 800 farms laying fallow. There's nothing happening with that farms. Already went through the reform process, but it's lying there fallow. Nothing is happening. My question to you, very softly, Mr. Deputy President, how will you ensure that land reform in the future benefit those who have the skills and the capacity to use the land productively rather than turning viable farmland into wasteland? And that has happened in many cases. Thank you, Deputy President.
Thank you, Honorable Swart. Honorable Deputy President, your response to that?
Honorable Chairperson, indeed, Honorable Swart, we don't want the land to lay fallow. I have seen myself traveling in some of the provinces, the same issue you're talking about. What we have decided to do, Honorable Swart, is that when we do land reform and we distribute land, we ensure land restitution, we need to ensure that the people who are settling on those land, particularly farming land, have the capacity to till the land. And now it has not always been the case in the past. But even where government has helped, sometimes you find the associations that get established to manage these projects, they are then engulfed with conflict and so on. So we need to be alive to all these issues. So I'm happy that the Commission on Land Restitution is coming up with this project that is going to absorb all this. But in particular, the Ministry of Land Reform and the Ministry of Agriculture jointly need to be able to support these people because most of them will fall under the category of emerging farmers. If they don't have a proper equipment and so on, they won't be able to utilize the land properly. But I agree with you that we should not allow land to lay fallow. The government must intervene quickly. We have noticed that some people who have applied for land, some of them really want to farm. Some people also have taken money instead of land. But those who want to farm, we're going to assist them to be able to farm. Because if we have farm land, arable land, it should not go to waste. So we will definitely, in the coming months, that's going to be the focus of the Minister of Land Reform to really ensure that this matter is addressed, that no land goes to waste. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy President. The next follow-up question is from Honorable Peter.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chair. Greetings to the President. Deputy President. Currently, my Deputy President, black farmers receive short, ineffective workshops rather than consistent practical training and technical guidance after claiming the land. For example, it was found that since 2006, the proactive land acquisition strategy has spent over 12 billion to acquire farms. Yet 75% of these 397 out of 529 backed by 3.4 billion rand from the recapitalization and development program remains either subsistence-based or inactive. My Deputy President, what bold practical measures is the government taking to overhaul post-settlement supporting training? And what will these measures entail? And what is their progress, my Honorable Deputy President? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Peter. Honorable Deputy President, your response, please.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and thank you, Honorable Peter. Yes, as I said earlier, we have realized as government that we need to increase support to ensure that people succeed in utilizing the land that is distributed to them. We've also seen some very interesting successful models. I was in the Free State last month. I visited farmers who are selling apples. And I realized that their model there is the emerging black farmers partnered with white farmers who were there before, of skills and so on. And their project is very successful because the emerging farmers have been trained, but They are equal partners in the project. So all of them are putting efforts there. And I must thank the Free State government for having assisted those projects. After they got a grant from the government, they were so successful now that they were able to go to the IEC for a loan, which they have received. And they are now able to export their products internationally. So I think with adequate support from government at provincial level, local, but also national level, to these people who are receiving land, these projects are going to be successful. We just need to make sure that there are good development finance models that are there to assist to ensure that land reform becomes successful. I do want to see a situation in many of these provinces where this arable land is put to good use. And this model that I'm speaking about, I've also seen it in Mpumalanga. When I visited Mpumalanga, I found that there are these partnerships of those who have the experience and the skills working with the ones, and together they are implementing very successful projects. It's something that we are encouraging as well. But as I said earlier, government will put more resources in support people who are claiming land, but also support them, those who want to farm, to be able to use the land productively. Thank you, Honorable Peter.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy President. We now move on to the next question, and that is question number 5, that deals with the reassessment of truth. And the question was put by the Honorable Mokoena, but it has been informed that the Honorable Majola will stand in for the Honorable Mokoena. Honorable Deputy President, your response to that question.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Let me thank Honorable Mokoena, represented by Honorable Majola now, for this important question during this time of our history. Honorable members, South Africa remains committed and supportive to ongoing peace efforts on the African continent, in line with our own foreign policy of a prosperous and peaceful continent. South Africa's contribution in peace support operations should not be measured in isolation, as the country participates through missions mandated and/or authorized by multilateral institutions such as the United Nations, African Union, and South African Development Community SADC. Honorable Chairperson, undertaking peacekeeping responsibility involves serious challenges and uncertainties. The recent death of 14 brave SADC soldiers in the DRC who were dedicated to their mission and committed to peace is a clear indication of these challenges. Once again, we would like to send our deepest condolences to the families of the deceased SANDF soldiers and also wish those injured speedy recovery. Chairperson, on the 13th of March this year, the South African Development Community SADC held an extraordinary summit to address the security situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. The summit expressed concern over the ongoing deterioration of the situation in the eastern DRC and resolved, amongst other things, to do the following. Firstly, to terminate the mandate of the SAMI DRC and directed the commencement of a phased withdrawal of SAMI DRC troops from the DRC. Secondly, to emphasize its commitment to addressing the ongoing conflict in the DRC and supporting interventions for lasting peace and security in Eastern DRC, in line with the SADC Mutual Defense Pact of 2003. Third, reaffirm commitment to continue supporting the DRC in its pursuit of safeguarding its independence, sovereignty, territorial integrity, sustainable peace, security, and development. And fourth, to reiterate the decision from the joint summit of the East African Community and SADC to merge the Luanda and Nairobi processes and inclusion of more facilitators to enhance the building process. Honorable Chairperson, let me reiterate that the decision by SADC to withdraw the SADC mission in the DRC should not be seen as a sign of defeat or an abandonment of our peace effort. Rather, it should be seen as a confidence-building measure to ensure peace and stability in the Eastern DRC. To further strengthen the peacekeeping efforts, the Joint Summit of the Heads of States and Government of the East African Community and SADC held a virtual meeting on the 24th of March to deliberate on the report of the joint EAC and SADC ministers on the security situation in the Eastern DRC. The Joint Summit directed the commencement of the implementation of the report and the roadmap. The Joint Summit also appointed eminent persons and a panel of facilitators to oversee the implementation of this process that includes, amongst others, former President Kgalema Motlanthe to be part of this panel. In conclusion, Chairperson, in this context, we welcome the recent progress and commitment made by the East African Community and SADC, and we also welcome the government of the DRC and Rwanda's commitment to an immediate and unconditional ceasefire. The President and myself will also continue intervention in other parts of the continent, including South Sudan, to try and avert the return to full-scale war and holding instead of peaceful elections in that country. I thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy President. We go to the first follow-up question, and that is from the Honorable Majola.
Thank you very much, Deputy Chair. And thank you very much, Deputy President, for your detailed responses. On your responses, you highlighted a number of intended outcomes with regards to our involvement in DRC. You further, on your responses, emphasize the support and the further commitment by the SADC. Deputy President, with regards to the resolution taken at the summit, the SADC summit, can you please provide us with the action plan by the government in terms of implementing the resolutions by the SADC summit in terms of addressing the recent, the recurring challenges with the measurable outcomes in peacekeeping operation in DRC. Thank you. And time frames, if you can, Deputy President. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Majola. Honorable Deputy President, your response.
Thank you very much, Honorable Majola. Thank you very much, Chairperson. Honorable Majola, as I said earlier, that we as a South African government are in full support of the decisions of the summit by the East African Community and SADC. And we are also in support of the Luanda and Nairobi processes, which are now going to be joined. And really the issue there with the Luanda and Nairobi process is to ensure that they consolidate the issue of peaceful negotiations. Because the summit has taken a decision for unconditional ceasefire, one of the immediate actions that is required is for the withdrawal of troops from the DRC. We have agreed to that, but of course, as I indicated, that it will be a phase in out process where this will be done in phases, because we also have a lot of equipment, as our troops have a lot of equipment there, so they need to be an organized way in which they are going to withdraw. And this withdrawal is then going to ensure that the negotiations are given a chance, hence the appointment of the panel of eminent persons, those former presidents who have been appointed, 5 of them, to ensure that they engage all the warring parties to ensure that even M23 is engaged to ensure that there is peace. So we will watch the process from our side to ensure that where we are required to assist, we do so, but we are going to put more efforts now on the negotiation side of things as the troops start to withdraw from those parts of the Eastern DRC. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy President. We now move to the next follow-up question that comes from the Honorable Mananiso.
Thank you, Deputy Chairperson, and as well, Dumela, Deputy President. Ke rata go leboga gore o arabile Honorable Majola so extensively, and I'm happy that on your response you said our contribution must not be measured in isolation. I want to ask you that, can you tell the country and take them in confidence what lessons have we learned as government in terms of SADC issue on the DRC? And number 2, I want to check with you, Deputy President, the impact on our country standing as a player in African peacekeeping, particularly on our quest to promote solidarity, peaceful resolution of conflicts to achieve the African Agenda 2063. Ke batla we arabe ka puo ya gamme Seshangane Silungu. Ke a leboga.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mananiso. Honorable Deputy President, your response.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Honorable Mananiso, cancer for me, botisa imakaya DRC. Ne hlamuserile gore se tabuya at DRC. In other words, masoja la aina afana buya kaya. Leswi swi ta endla ku ri nyiketa mhaka ta ku vulavurisana ku va tona leti ta hi sizaka ku ri hi heta nyimpi leyi nga kona laha DRC. We are very convinced, Honorable Mananiso, that success in this regard comes with collaboration. We didn't go there on our own in South Africa and say we will resolve the DRC conflict. We are working through the UN, we are working through SADC and the AU. So we are part of those efforts. Even where we contributed troops, you'll recall that we also had Malawi was Tanzania was part of that. So we're not alone, we're never alone. We work with others. This idea of working together, of collaborating, is very important. And if we succeed, which we must, this will then help us to be able to then succeed in implementing Agenda 2063, which is the Africa we want, because we want to focus on development. But if there are conflicts in the continent and people are engaged in war, we're not going to be successful in ensuring that there's development in the continent. So we are learning good lessons, but we are also taking lessons where we go, because we ourselves come from a history where we were in a country which there was conflict, but through negotiations at the end, we managed to succeed, and we are now building this democratic country. We are taking this experience to other countries in the continent to say to them, you too can do it. If you sit down and negotiate honestly, you can resolve your conflict through these negotiations and not war. Akensa mananiso na hleketa ku swatwa kahle. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy President. We now move to the next question that comes from the Honorable Brits.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chair. Deputy President, whether on land, sea, or in the air, the SANDF's capabilities are severely hamstrung, and its budget has been shrunk and fruitlessly wasted over the past 3 decades, rendering it unable to achieve its main constitutional mandate, which is to defend South Africa's borders. Yet, 2,900 troops were deployed to the DRC in December 2023 and redeployed in December 2024 at a cost of 2.4 billion rand. Given the loss of lives and lack of measurable outcomes, do you agree that prioritizing the provisions of the Constitution would have been a better strategy rather than chasing the ANC's regional ambitions in the DRC?
Thank you very much, Honorable Brits. Honorable Deputy President, your response.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable brings indeed, the South African National Defence Force does require additional funding so that they can have proper equipment and so on, not only to be able to participate in peaceful missions, but also overall for the growth of the Defence Force in be able to protect our country properly. I can confirm, Honorable Brings, that in the budget tabled by Minister of Finance, you would have noticed that the minister in his speech did talk about increased funding for the South African National Defence Force, totaling over the MTF, if I'm not wrong, about 5 billion. And there may be more that the Defence Force will need to be able to be well equipped. But at least there's a start and a good start in that direction, that funds are now being made available in this budget. And hopefully, as the economy improves in the coming years, surely funding to equip our security forces will remain a priority so that we're able to do our work properly. But we must not retreat from supporting peace initiative in the continent. I think it's important, and not only for the continent, but for ourselves as South Africa. For us to develop our country properly, we need an Africa that is peaceful, an Africa that is developing, and where we can play a role, we should continue to do so. So, Honorable Briggs, I hope that you will support the budget when it comes through, because this budget will ensure that we now put more resources to support our troops, to support the South African National Defence Force and other security forces. I thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy President. The next follow-up question is from the Honorable Kennedy.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good afternoon, Honorable Deputy President. Honorable Deputy President, as we know, peacekeeping missions are very important in order to maintain peace and security across the region. But our mission to the Democratic Republic of Congo was, however, a very expensive and humiliating mission. In light of this, what role is our diplomatic community playing to keep the peace throughout Africa, even with our enemies? Are trade relations not a vital piece of sustaining peace and security? And are there any plans to intensify trade with our African neighbors to ease relations and to prevent war and violence in any form? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Kennedy. Honorable Deputy President, your response.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Thank you, Honorable Kennedy. You would remember, Honorable Kennedy, that we are part of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. Now, the African Continental Free Trade Area, it's the emphasis on trade. We want to trade more with other countries in the region, but also in the continent as a whole. So we are paying attention to issues of trade. And I'll give you an example. When I was in South Sudan last year, one of the discussion I had with President Salva Kiir was the issue of trade and investments, where President Salva Kiir said, look, we have a lot of arable land here, but we are not farmers. Can we ensure that South African farmers can come here and help us, to produce food in this country because we have land? And in that case, they will be involved in business themselves. But also other ministers from our government have been in South Sudan. The Minister of Minerals and Resources, there are South African companies in South Sudan. Also in the DRC, there are South African companies that are operating there. So the issue of trade is not put aside. Rather, what we are doing is to focus on ensuring that there is peace in the continent so that trade and investment can thrive, particularly because we already have a framework of the Africa Free Continental Trade Area. So I agree with you that wars are expensive, and in most cases, continuation of just being involved in war in the long run is not going to benefit the population productively. So more resources must go to trade and economy, but also, as you said, intensifying diplomatic missions, engagements. In fact, Minister Lamola was currently meeting with some of the role players from the DRC precisely to use this approach of mediation, of diplomatic engagements to get a resolution of the conflict. We will do so in many countries where we're involved, including in South Sudan. We will be, my president and I will be engaging the leaders there to ensure that we can use our diplomacy, our diplomatic missions to be able to assist. So yes, thank you for that follow-up question. I think it's a very important one, but I must assure you that we are doing exactly that. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy President. We now go to the last set of questions, and that is the question number 6 that deals with government's social partner collaborations. And the question was posed by the Honorable Feni, and I am told that the Honorable Modise will be taking this question. Honorable Deputy President, your response to the question.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Let me thank Honorable Feni, now represented by Honorable Modise, for this important question. Honorable Chairperson, the Human Resource Development Council has already signed 3 social compacts that are aimed at strengthening relationships and positively impacting the human development value chain in our country. The 3 social compacts are focusing on the following thematic areas. 1, building the foundations for learning. 2, building skills for a transformed economy and society. And 3, building a capable and developmental state. Each social compact reflects specific interventions that social partners implement in a coordinated manner to address the identified skills shortages. The signing of these compacts demonstrate government and social partner collaboration to address skills shortages in critical economic sectors. On Tuesday, the 5th of November 2024, in my capacity as the chairperson of the HRDC, I had an opportunity to successfully chair the inaugural meeting of the newly appointed council members for the next 5 years. The HRDC has since developed and approved a reconceptualized human resource development strategy 2024 to 2033 and the Master Skills Plan 2024 to 2030 with 4 key goals, and namely Goal 1, improving early learning and schooling outcomes. Goal 2, improving the employability of youth who are not in education, employment, or training. Goal 3, improving responsiveness of the post-school education and training system to skills demand. And Goal 4, improving governance, leadership, and management in the public sector. The HRDC and its implementation plan, the Master Skills Plan, are designed to support the National Development Plan's Vision 2030, which focuses on economic growth, job creation, and poverty reduction. Honorable Chairperson, the Minister of Higher Education and Training officially launched Phase 1 of the National Skills Fund Disabilities Program 2024 to 2025 in November last year. This transformative initiative aims to empower more than 10,000 persons with disabilities in South Africa through tailored training programs, stipends, and other specialized tools. This program is implemented in partnership with the Department of Women, Youth, and People with Disabilities and the Department of Social Development, who are collaborating through efforts to advance disability inclusion in the South African Human Resource Development Strategy. Through our TVET colleges, government is increasing the production of artisans. This is part of the shift we are undertaking towards education and skills development that combines formal learning with job training. As part of government collaboration with social partners, during May 2024, I launched the South African National Service Initiative, SANSI, which is a joint initiative by the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, and the South African National Defence Force. The initiatives aim to empower young TVET and university graduates through a purposeful skill pipeline, fostering innovative entrepreneurship and long-term sustainable employment through purposeful and smooth pipeline. Furthermore, the government is utilizing sector-specific master plans to promote inclusive economic growth and combat unemployment. The DTI is implementing 7 master plans, with one recently launched which utilizes industrial policy tools to develop export capabilities, regain domestic market share, and create sustained economic employment. In conclusion, Chairperson, we reiterate the call by President Ramaphosa on the private sector to offer young people experimental learning opportunities while they undertake their studies as part of their commitment to a social compact of building skills for a transformed economy and society. I thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy President. And now we go on to the first follow-up question, and that will be taken by the Honorable Modise.
Oi, Deputy President, oi. DP, I'm sure Honorable Feni, wherever he is very pleased with the detailed response from the question that he had posed. And if it's possible, DP, I would ask that you send that response so that we can post it on our social media platforms, because it speaks to frustrated young people out there. And the response is so detailed. And I personally pleased to know that there's a master skills plan that is already in place with different thematic topics that you want to enter into, and so that young people can assist in rallying behind government. So it will be unfair for me to say, let me post a follow-up question, because I'm sure the response will be, as I've already responded, and I don't want that when I ask questions. And the only thing I can ask from you, DP, is that on behalf of the people of South Africa, because I know they won't do it, you wish a happy birthday to Honorable Member Mzamobili. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Order, honorable members, we have not come to the end of the session. Honorable Modise, I must caution you that in the House, it's the Honorable Deputy President, not DP.
Noted.
Thank you very much. Honorable Deputy President, I didn't see a question there, but if you want to respond to Honorable Modise, you may do so.
Thank you, Chairperson, and I'm sure, Chairperson, you will wish Honorable Nzamobili the happy birthday. I will ask my office to send the question as requested by Honorable Modise at the end of this session. But thank you very much, Honorable Modise, for that. There are a number of other initiatives which we will include in the document we'll send to you, because there are programs like the National Youth Policy, and we have education skills and second chances, economic transformation, entrepreneur and job creation, physical and mental health promotion. There are a number of programs that really are targeting our young people to ensure that they become productive. We don't want to see, Honorable Modise, anymore this talk about unemployed graduates. We want this to be something of the past. And therefore, we must support young people. And that's why I'm making a call to the private sector. We are doing it already in government. All government departments are offering learning opportunities, this experiential opportunity to young people. We are doing it. We want the private sector to do it. If we do so, we will see less and less young people in our streets. Thank you very much, Honorable Modise.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy President. We go on to the next follow-up question that comes from the Honorable Badenost.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chair. I think Deputy President, Honorable Modise meant you should send cake, not answers to questions. But anyway, let's move on. Deputy President, whilst the national average for youth unemployment sits at 45.5%, the DA-run Western Cape has managed to bring this disturbing figure down by 15.5 percentage points. This, Deputy President, has not happened by accident. The Western Cape government has implemented an industry-driven skills development model aimed at aligning educational outcomes with the specific needs of its key economic sectors. This approach focuses on creating a skilled workforce tailored to the demands of local industries and thereby enhancing economic growth and reducing unemployment. A great example of this, Deputy President, is the Western Cape Premier's Council on Skills, bringing together government, business and academia to match the training with the market demand through our youth cafes all over the province, actively helping young people to gain work readiness. No master plans, no lots of talking, no fanfare, actual stuff working on the ground. My question, Deputy President, is why has the national government not scaled the Western Cape's model of industry-driven skills pipelines in sectors like tourism, agriculture and tech, which have proven success in tackling youth unemployment, as is evident in the DA-run Western Cape? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Badenost. Honorable Deputy President, your response, please.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable Badenost, I'm sure you will favor me with the document that you are referring to so I can see it. But let me say that already the presidency has initiated a number of programs that target young people. Of course, we would appreciate that provinces as well should do so. I'm sure if I ask all provinces to send me what they are doing, they will be able to do so. Then I'll be able to assess where we need to intensify. The Presidential Youth Employment Service has been rolled out, and this project, some of them are already reaching more than 1 million young people, and this is driven from the presidency. There are programs like the Effective and Responsive Youth Development Machinery. So this number of initiatives will be cascaded down to provinces. Obviously, where provinces are already having their own initiatives, we will support that as national government. The provinces just need to favor us with their plans. We'll look at that, and we will be able to support as much as we can, whether it's the Western Cape, Gauteng, Mpumalanga, KwaZulu-Natal. The role of national government is to offer support to all provinces, because we are happy when we see provinces taking initiatives. So, Honorable Badenost, let's get those plans, let's see them, because you are saying national government is not supporting. I'm not sure if you have favored us with those plans. Please do so. But I will ask my office to just ask all the other provinces to tell us what they are doing. Because I think it's important that we put formidable plans in place to support young people in all our provinces. If we do so, we will succeed to take away young people off the streets and into productive employment opportunities that are sustainable. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy President. We now move to the next follow-up question that comes from the Honorable Mashabeni.
Thank you very much, Deputy Chair. Deputy President, the fact of the matter, unemployment in this country is a serious issue. Sorry. The fact of the matter, unemployment in this country is a serious issue. And there seems to be a misalignment between the skills that South African employers demand and the skills which our young people possess. And the education system seems to be failed to equip our young people with the practical skills and industrial knowledge needed to hit the ground running. Given this stark reality, why has it taken you so long to make progress on this collaboration intervention which you speak of today? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mashabane. Honorable Deputy President, your response.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Thank you, Honorable Mashabane, for the follow-up. Yes, indeed, it must have taken long, but we have started. One of the things we're doing now, we're encouraging young people to consider TVET colleges for training. We know that our young people are going to universities, but many TVET colleges offer practical skills that ensures that once the students are done, they are ready for employment. But I emphasized earlier, Honorable Mashabane, that practical skills sometimes are achieved if we take young people as interns in our government departments, whether it's national, provincial, local government, but also in the private sector itself. When young people come in as interns, they learn the skills. That's why we don't support this approach that young people, when they look for employment opportunities, they are asked if they have 5-year experience. Where should they get it? Because they just come from learning institutions. They must be brought in for internships so that we can assist them to be able to acquire the skills. So the misalignment you are alluding to, Honorable Mashabane, is as a result of students going to university, studying particular subjects, but when they come out where they should be employed, they don't have skills for that. And I'll give you an example. I was recently in Tokyo in Japan, and I visited a company called Isuzu. Now, Isuzu has invested a lot in South Africa. In fact, they build their cars in the Eastern Cape. Now, I asked them a question because when I visited their factory, I saw a lot of young people working in the assembly line as to how do these young people acquire skills. And the response from the CEO of the company was that no, a lot of them, we bring them here without skills, but we train them. We have a program where we train these young people. They come from different colleges. They are not trained to assemble a Isuzu truck, but the company itself has put in a mechanism to ensure that they can then put these young people through training, maybe for 6 months, then they are able to get into their jobs. And they do perfect jobs. So we should be doing the same in South Africa, especially our companies. Take more young people, train them. They may come with education that is not aligned to your area of work, but train them to be able to do that. Young people are trainable. And that's really the approach we must take. But let's really just encourage our young people to go to TVET colleges as well. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy President. The final follow-up question comes from the Honorable Farmer.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, Deputy President. Deputy President, it fascinates me that Honorable Badenhorst can refer to all these EPWP appointments in the Western Cape as a skilled workforce. Deputy President, the narrative of Black in general and African in particular, after President Ramaphosa declared colored people as African also, what is the progress to eradicate the differentiation between racial groups on official government
Point of order, Chair.
and documentation?
Honorable Farmer, could you please take your seat? Honorable Badenhorst, on what rule are you rising?
Honorable Chair, I rise on Rule 61B.
Okay, go ahead.
No delegate may deliberately make a statement which delegate knows to be false. This delegate has just made a false aspersion on me to say that I referred to EPWP workers in my question to the Deputy President, and this whole House sat here as witnesses. I didn't use one reference to EPWP. I would like him to retract that, please.
Thank you very much. I didn't quite hear the issue of the reference to EPWP in your question. So we will allow the Honorable Farmer to continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. And we all know what the skilled workforce is. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Farmer. Honorable Deputy President, I hope you heard the question that was posed by the Honorable Farmer.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I was also not quite sure whether Honorable Farmer meant that what Honorable Badenhorst was alluding to as their involvement in skilling young people and putting them into employment opportunities is not quite accurate. I was not sure whether he was saying that. But I'd already, in fact, responded to that by saying that I'll ask Honorable Badenhorst to favor me with the document of explaining what is happening there. We can also ask the Western Cape government itself, no problem. The point I wanted to emphasize, Honorable Chairperson, is that let's skill our young people, firstly by ensuring that they utilize. There are a lot of TVET colleges in the country now, but young people, if we don't channel them there, they choose universities. And sometimes in universities, when they come out, a lot of industry are looking for particular skills, bricklayers, mechanics, and so on. And you find that these young people don't have those skills. They didn't acquire them at university because they studied other courses there. That's the point I was making, that let's channel them to TVET colleges. But secondly, both government and the private sector must intensify internships of bringing young people and train them. The example I was giving of Isuzu in Japan, of bringing these young people. In fact, when we asked them a question, and I asked them this question, their response initially made people laugh, because the CEO says, no, we just take these young people from everywhere. And people are saying, oh, you just go into the streets and bring young people. But then they said, no, what we mean is that we don't require the skills to build the cars, the trucks from them. They come here, we train them. And you must see the work that they're doing. It it's happening also in our country. I visited BMW and I found a lot of young people working there, and they said, look, they've got a training center somewhere in Pretoria where they train young people. I want more private companies to do the same, government departments to do the same, like the Sansi project we're doing with the South African National Defence Force. We need more of these projects because we need to take away our young people away from the streets so that they become productive in society. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy President. Honorable delegates, I would like to thank the Honorable Deputy President for his responses in this House. And as always, we truly welcome the Deputy President and his responses to the questions. I also like to thank the MECs, all permanent delegates and special delegates, and SELGA representatives for availing themselves for the sitting in the House. Before I conclude, I would like to wish the Honorable Mzamo Billy a very happy birthday. We wish you well, and may you have many more. And before the Honorable Badenoch starts singing and disturbing all of us, Honorable delegates, that closes the business of the day. The House is now adjourned. Honorable Badenoch, you may now sing.
Recording stopped.